Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. Now, here's John Truman Wolfe.
Hi, folks. John Truman Wolfe here with the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. Happy Thursday afternoon to you. We're broadcasting live from the Los Padres National Forest north of Los Angeles. Beautiful day here. Fires seem to be coming under control in Southern California, Northern California. And we sit in the middle of a national forest, and it's beautiful and no threats here. And for that, we're thankful. I've got a really, I hope you find, interesting show. Data that I don't think many folks have, and I'm going to go over some important global financial matters in some detail. Before that, the weekly or daily update of the financial markets. The Dow, 27,901 minus 130. If you look at the graph on the Dow, it really begins to smell a little bit like distribution, meaning distribution is when there are a lot of shares, high volume of shares being traded, and the markets are kind of up, down, and it's like folks are selling into a demand for shares. So 27,901, it's been, for those of you that follow the Dow, it's been kind of bouncing in this 27,000 range for quite some time. The S&P 3351 down 28. The NASDAQ, which had been setting new records every day going back a week or so, has been hammered for the last several days. It's at 10,910, off 140 today. So the NASDAQ, what the stock market gives, the stock market takes away. Gold, 1945, off $14. Silver, 27.13, off 11 cents. If you look at the silver graph, gold's similar because they've just kind of been treading water in the middle of the 1900 range, and silver's been kind of treading around high 26, 27s. But if you look at that silver graph, it really looks to me like it's about ready to spring up again. You may remember we talked about this going back when it was attempting to break out of this base at $19 a share. It did, and it ran up, as you can see, from 19 into the high 20s, and it's been hanging out in the high 20s in a little kind of mini consolidation. There are formations on the silver graph that make it look particularly attractive. Keep an eye on it here for the next few days, see if it breaks to the upside. Into the digital currencies, Bitcoin, 10,944, off 5.57, less than a percent, a little more than 0.5%. But the digital currencies, which were sliding over the prior week, have now started to turn up again. We'll see if this resuscitation continues, but it's looking good. Ethereum at 389.89, basically 390, up 6%, which is kind of what I'm talking about. And Ripple also up to 0.252, up 3%. That's what the markets say today, folks. We're going to come back after these messages and talk about some fascinating global financial matters. I'm John Truman Wolfe. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us.
In this time of global uncertainty, you need sound financial information to keep your investments, your future, as safe as possible. The Strategic Financial Intelligence Newsletter, created by John Truman Wolfe, #1 best-selling author and renowned financial consultant to governments around the world, is your most valuable asset. A monthly goldmine of the vital insight and insider information you need to stay on top. Right now, financial security is critical. That's why, for a limited time, we're dropping our price from $249 annually to just just $99. That includes access to the entire Strategic Financial Intelligence archives covering everything from precious metals, offshore banking, to cryptocurrencies, and the wildly heralded seminar on the covert agenda that has backed the U.S. dollar for at least 50 years and more. Sign up now at strategicfinancialintelligence.com. That's strategicfinancialintelligence.com.
All right, folks, we are back. I'm John Truman Wolfe. This is the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. I want to talk this hour about the growing, impending conversion of the world's monetary system from cash to zeros and ones. I've talked about this before. I've written about it, but this is much more in depth and is moving faster, I think, than most people realize. Let me back up and talk about, first of all, kind of who's controlling things monetarily on the planet. For those of you that have read my book or have listened to me, know that the Bank for International Settlements in Basel, Switzerland, is what I call the godfather of the global financial mafia. The Bank for International Hang on a minute here, folks. Yes, Mike?
Oh, you got disconnected.
All righty.
You can actually just...
Here we go. A little technical trouble there. But anyway, I was talking about the Bank for International Settlements, which is the godfather of the global financial mafia, as I've said. And the 60 of the central banks in the world belong or are members of the BIS. And the BIS basically dictates what's going to go on the planet. They pretend to be kind of this, lazy, unaggressive, international regulatory agency, but that's not the case at all. I have also mentioned, and speaking of the BIS, that how do we say this? There are 1.4 quadrillion, between 1. Quadrillion, that's with the Q, dollars of derivatives on the planet, mostly in banks on the planet. And that one, let's call it 1.2 quadrillion dollars of derivatives, about 75% of them are what are called interest rate swaps, which is a fancy banking term, which are basically bets on the direction of interest rates. So Bank of America thinks the rate on Greek bonds is going up. Deutsche Bank thinks they're going down. They bet. That bet becomes a security. People bet on that bet. People bet on those bets. And there is this pyramid in the banks around the planet of these interest rate swaps that put the banking system on the planet very, very much at risk. I have said before, I will say it again, I think somebody's going to stick a pin in that bubble, and I'm concerned it's going to break. We can talk about what's going to happen if/when that happens, but it's very precarious. To help out their baby banks, the Bank for International Settlements, when I say baby banks, I'm talking about the big banks on the planet. These are the BIS's children, instituted a policy a couple of years ago called bail-ins. Bail-in means, listen up, folks, bail-in means that a troubled bank, a bank that is failing, can take your deposits and convert them to bank stock. I'll repeat that. The bank can take some of your deposits and convert them to bank stock. So this is bail-in procedure implemented so that because the BIS saw that the planet's banks were pregnant with these derivatives, give them a way out, which is if the derivatives bubble breaks and the bank starts to get shaky for losses in the derivatives market, they can implement bail-in policy. The depositors who are unsecured creditors, meaning I use this metaphor. It's a bit that when you put money in the bank, it's as if you laid the carpet in the lobby of the bank. So the money belongs to the bank now. They owe it to you, like you laid the carpet, like you painted the lobby. They owe it to you, but it's not yours, it's theirs. Okay, so that's the kind of the global banking situation, the global financial situation, which you need to be aware of. One of the things that I recommend to folks is if you're in one of the big New York money center banks, and there's $227 trillion of derivatives in U.S. banks, most of which are in the New York money center banks, B of A, Citibank, J.P. Morgan Chase, Wells, to move, if you've got major deposits, move them to a smaller or regional bank. I know it's a little bit of a hassle, but it's something that I would recommend. Now, let me take another step in terms of turning the light on what's going on the planet in terms of money. There is a war on cash on planet Earth. If you look at statistics of various countries, the amount of cash in play or being used is decreasing dramatically. There's an effort to get rid of cash. Why? Why do they want to get rid of cash? Because governments can't track cash. You take a bunch of cash out of the bank and stick it under your mattress or in your safe or do whatever you're going to do with it. The bank and the banks and or the governments can't track that. They, it's not on their radar screen. So there has been and continues to be, as we speak, a war on cash, to get rid of cash and to replace cash with what? Zeros and ones. There's a very strong movement on the planet to convert money to digital currency. It's coming, folks. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This isn't something that I made up or somebody made up. The planet is much more rapidly than you may think moving to digital currency in your bank account. Great depth, what countries are doing digital currencies, which are not, and we'll get into those details when we come back right after these messages. Again, stay with us.
Question: have you ever thought about making an investment in California real estate for the high returns available through trust deeds? As a trusted professional broker, Sun Pacific Mortgage and Real Estate has been helping investors earn high-yield returns on safer investments for over 32 years. Their trust deeds earn upwards of 13%. That's right, 13%. They invest in notes starting from $100,000 throughout all of California, where real estate remains strong. If you want to know more about high return investments through available deeds of trust, go to their website at sunpacificmortgage.com. That's sunpacificmortgage.com, or call them today at 707-523-2099. 707-523-2099. sunpacificmortgage.com, or call them at 707-523-2099.
When you really want Italian food, you have got to get to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Food fans, thrill seekers, and devoted seekers of wisdom, truth, and the world's greatest meatballs, it's time to indulge in the fine art of gastronomic yum-yum. Columbo's, a shrine to mirth and merriment, as well as great grub. Columbo's, the preeminent destination for good times and deliciousness. Enjoy the scenic view. Savor the finest steaks, the freshest fish. Columbo's family Italian specialties, including their pizza with sausage and pepperoni. Sure to tickle your belly and your disposition. Yes, Columbo's, an historic LA landmark for ample eats and husky spirits. Yes, Columbo's, that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, mangia bene.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. They want your money, and guess what? They can legally take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you. So what do? Fight back by letting our team of experts at the tax helpline work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws and will fight to save your money. So if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket.
800-932-1597. 800-932-1597. 800-932-1597. That's 800-932-1597.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm John Truman Wolfe. We're talking today. That stands for Central Bank Digital Currencies. And this is a major movement on the planet, which I'm guessing you're probably not aware of. Let me define for you what a CBDC is, a central bank digital currency. A central bank digital currency would be an electronic form of central bank money and could be used by households and businesses to make payments. They would be universally accepted by all households, and unlike banknotes, would be fully digital. And, I might add, controlled by a federal regulator. By design, CBDCs are fully regulated by the state. They don't aim to become decentralized like most cryptocurrencies. Instead, they just represent fiat money and only in digital form. Each CBDC unit acts like a secure digital equivalent of paper currency. Consequently, if a central bank issues a CBDC, it becomes not only its regulator, but its client's account holder. So if that's too much banker gobbledygook, the central banks would issue the digital currency. Again, that's why they central bank digital currency, CBDC, and then would be able to monitor exactly what the problem was with your account. If there was a problem, they'd be able to see what you were doing with your money. They'd be able to regulate to a large degree what you bought, if they chose to, what you bought. You didn't buy your mask, so we're shutting your account down. In other words, it gives the bank regulator, which is the central bank, essentially complete control over your bank account. That's called centralized digital currency. The cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and the thousands of others are decentralized, meaning there is no ownership. There's no central point that controls the issuance of the digital currencies or what you're doing with them. So there's a very strong libertarian aspect to the cryptocurrency movement because it bypasses banks. They bypass banks. They bypass governments. And the cryptocurrency universe was looked at for some years after the development of Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the first, hit the market in 2009. And up until, I would say, recently, by recently, I mean the last couple of years, it's kind of been blown off like, what's the big deal? But not today, folks. The digital currency market is huge. It's about $1/3 trillion. There's about $330 billion invested in cryptocurrencies, not only Bitcoin, which remains the biggest, but several others. At the top of the show, I give Bitcoin. I give the stats on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, which is number 2, has a market cap of 40 billion, and I also give the data on Ripple, which is a service that digital currency provides to international banks to facilitate the transfer of money around the planet in an instant and not using the old SWIFT system or what have you. And that's an important distinction between digital currencies themselves. You have, or cryptocurrencies, digital currencies, you have currencies like Bitcoin, which are nothing other, frankly, than speculation. In other words, people think it's cool, they invest, they think the price is going to go up. They sell if they think the price is going to go down. Bitcoin was originally intended to be a global currency where people would be buying and selling things with Bitcoin. That is happening. I don't mean to imply that that isn't happening. It is happening, but not anywhere to the degree that Bitcoin has become ubiquitous or become a national digital currency. On the other hand, digital currencies like Ethereum, digital currencies like Ripple, they have products or services that they provide to the owners, and so.
We'll be right back here in the John Truman Wolfe Strategic Financial Intelligence Report. Stick around, you guys. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Tired of lockdown? Let the reconnect begin. You belong here. Welcome home to the magic of Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California. Check out our new spacious outdoor dining al fresco. Romantic, market lights. It looks like a movie set. Dine under the stars and enjoy our tasty Angelo's and Vinci's pizza, pasta, seafood, chicken, salad dinners, and more. In the cool of the evening, come enjoy our award-winning menu, new wine list, specialty cocktails like our peach Bellini martini, appetizers, and more. Angelo's and Vinci's now open every day from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. for relaxing outdoor dining. No reservations needed. Just come on in for delicious Italian food. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton. Call 714-879-4022. We're going to need a lot of pasta to get through this year. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton today.
In this time of global uncertainty, you need sound financial information to keep your investments, your future, as safe as possible. The Strategic Financial Intelligence Newsletter, created by John Truman Wolfe, #1 best-selling author and renowned financial consultant to governments around the world, is your most valuable asset. A monthly goldmine of the vital insight and insider information you need to stay on top. Right now, financial security is critical. That's why, for a limited time, we're dropping our price from $249 annually to just $99. That includes access to the entire Strategic Financial Intelligence archives, covering everything from precious metals, offshore banking, to cryptocurrencies, and the wildly heralded seminar on the covert agenda that has backed the U.S. dollar for at least 50 years, and more. Sign up now at strategicfinancialintelligence.com. That's strategicfinancialintelligence.com.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm John Truman Wolfe. This is the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour, coming to you live from Los Angeles, deep in the Los Padres National Forest, having a lovely day here in LA. To pick up where we left off on the digital currencies, just to remake this point, the digital currencies that you can buy and sell at various digital currency exchanges, there are two kinds of them. One, they're just pure speculation, like Bitcoin. There is nothing behind Bitcoin other than people's individuals' decision or thoughts or projections that it's going to go up or down. That's different than, say, Ethereum, which is the number 2 digital currency, because Ethereum is based on the development of blockchain, which is the technology that facilitates the transfer of digital currencies around the planet and facilitates the transfer of other things on the planet. So some of the currencies are just somebody's idea of. Others are based on actual products or services, like Ripple, as I was saying before the break, provides a service for banks to transfer money instantly internationally. So that's the digital currencies that you buy and sell. That's different than what's called a CBDC, a central bank digital currency. This means the central bank is issuing the currency, and they become centralized, meaning the currency is coming from a centralized point. The digital currencies, the cryptocurrencies that you buy and sell on the internet are decentralized. There is no central point that is controlling them. But the DC CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies, would be currencies issued by a central bank, let's say the Federal Reserve Bank, and that would be the money that would go into your bank account, not cash, not cash. What's the problem with that? Well, you want to talk about privacy concerns. The federal, the central bank could monitor what you're buying, where you're going, where you're traveling. The threat to individual freedom, personal liberty would be huge. But they're coming, folks. They're coming. Let me go over with you what's happening in that world, because my guess is you're not aware of how fast this world is moving. In 2019, last year, the Bank for International Settlements found that nearly 80% of the central banks surveyed were engaged in full CBDC, central bank digital currency research efforts and various levels of experimentation, up from 60% in 2017. And Mike, you can throw that graph up now, if you can. And there's a graph going up, folks, that you'll be able to see of the dramatic increase in central banks' research and development of digital currencies to replace cash. Here's some examples. Sweden has developed the e-krona. It was initiated in 2017, is now in the development of it, and is now in the final stage of development. After 3 years of research, the Central Bank of Sweden is testing payment, deposit, and transfer capabilities along with other features. So they're just testing how to use it. In Uruguay, the e-peso, having seen a decline in the use of cash, launched a central bank digital currency pilot. They ran the pilot from September 17 to April 2018 and tested the issuance and distribution of the digital currency in use P2P, that means person to person, B2B, business to business, or B2C, consumer. So Uruguay has a digital currency that offers instantaneous payment. The Ukraine, the National Bank of the Ukraine, successfully tested an electronic form. I can't pronounce the name of their currency, folks, sorry. HRYVNIA in 2018. The results of the pilot were released last year. In February of 2020, the National Bank of the Ukraine shared its central bank digital currency vision and findings with the global central bank representatives at the, get this, Central Bank Digital Currencies New Payment Opportunities Conference in Kiev. So, obviously I'm not giving you these that you're going to necessarily remember them, but the show goes up on YouTube. It also, if you're a subscriber to Strategic Financial Intelligence, you get a audio and transcribed version of the show, and you'll be able to look at these things for yourself. I'm just trying to give you the information so that you understand the extent to which digital central banks are moving forward. There's a project in the Bahamas called the Project Sand Dollar, which is designed to upgrade the financial market infrastructure, digitizing the Bahamian dollar. Currently, the Sand Dollar is a live CBDC pilot being tested in various districts and is an official line item on the Central Bank of the Bahamas. The official national Sand Dollar rollout is expected in the fourth quarter of 2020, which is just a month, in the next couple of months. There is a digital currency program in the Eastern Caribbean dollar That project is called the DXCD project, digital currency projects. Tunisia, Senegal, Venezuela, the UAE, South Africa. You see, folks, this stuff is on the way, and we need to talk about what to do about it. I'm John Truman Wolfe. This is the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. We'll be right back.
How would you like to save up to $500 on your next vacation package? Any vacation package anywhere in the world. Just call Superior Travel and mention the code RADIO and save up to $500. We'll design a custom, fantastic vacation just for you with all the bells and whistles. Not some cookie-cutter vacation, but a unique, all-included vacation customized by one of our exclusive travel experts. And our service is completely free. You pay nothing more. So why waste your time? Let us do it for you. We've got over 100 years of travel experience to help create the perfect trip for you. Call now and learn how to save up to $500 on your next custom vacation. Pick up the phone, call Superior Travel, and use the code word RADIO.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. That's 800-378-3212.
All right, folks, John Truman Wolfe here, the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour, talking about digital currencies, specifically what are referred to as CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. That means the central banks of the world starting to issue digits, coin, zeros and ones in replace of cash. I could say coins, cash and coins. No more money as we've experienced it over the last X hundreds of years. No, your bank account is going to be zeros and ones. It's not a maybe, folks. Let me review again very, very quickly the central banks on the planet that have either got digital currencies or are in the process of developing them. Sweden, Uruguay, the Ukraine, the Bahamas, the Eastern Caribbean dollar, Tunisia. Tunisia was actually the first country in the world to issue a CBDC called the e-dinar in 2015. Senegal issued a CBDC in December 2016. The Marshall Islands introduced its own crypto in 2018. Venezuela, the UAE and Saudi Arabia announced an agreement in January 2019 to collaborate on the creation of a crypto. South Africa's issued a paper about the research being done on a CBDC. And there are a number of projects being done between the central banks whereby they will be transferring money via zeros and ones between themselves. And these are projects that are different than the projects to put the zeros and ones into your bank account. Project Stella is a joint research project conducted by the European Central Bank and the Bank of Japan, improving their infrastructure. There's a project between the Monetary Authority of Singapore called the MAS, and several international institutions using CBDC for settlement purposes. There's a project called the Inthanon Lion Rock, which is between Hong Kong, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, and the Bank of Thailand. And I could go on. Let me kind of wrap up a regress. China is the most development experience in CBDC. In the advanced economy, they're actually using digital currencies in 4 states, and they're paying people in digital currency. In other words, they're testing it, seeking to roll it out. They're testing it with partnering with 7 state-owned companies to roll out what they call the DCEP, Digital Currency Electronic Payment System. In April of 2020, the PBOC, that's the People's Bank of China, the Central Bank of China, confirmed it had been internally testing the DCEP, Digital Currency Electronic Payment, in 4 cities. The governor of the PBOC, I'm not sure I'll pronounce this right, Gang, said the bank doesn't yet have a timetable for the official launch of the digital yuan, but did confirm that it may be piloted at the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. So I mean, China is like moving forward this full speed. The United Kingdom initiated research on a CBDC in 2015. In March of 2020, it issued a paper about how digital currency would work and the opportunities it presented, but they have like backed off any specific date on when they're going to implement it. Japan is in a partnership with the European Central Bank to test CBDCs. So on it goes. I mean, the central banks are swapping digital currencies with themselves and putting together now projects to put digital currencies into your bank account. The United States, the conservative central bank, so-called conservative central bank of the United States, has engaged in a test market. Starting in August, the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston entered into a collaboration with MIT and their digital currency initiative to test a open source central bank currency platform. You can see by the graph that's up on the screen, if you're watching, the dramatic increase in the banks engaged in CBDC work. Up it goes, up it goes, up it goes. You know, they're shooting for 100%. Whether or not they'll get there, I don't know. And this says banks engaged in CBDC work. Some of them are actually have digital currencies that they're using with their citizens. Some are testing them. The point is, it's coming, and it's something that needs to be prepared for. And we're going to talk about how you prepare for that when we come back after this final break. Do stay with us, because we're going to talk about the Facebook Libra when we come back.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 888-912-1332. 888-912-1332. 888-912-1332. Call right now. 888-912-1332.
For the getaway of your dreams, come to Hawaii's Playground, Ka'anapali Beach Resort, on the fun side of Maui, where the world comes to play. Find your spot on Ka'anapali Beach with 3 miles of white sand, 12 resort properties, 2 golf courses, and 2 shopping centers. Enjoy the playground of Hawaii's ancient royalty. Ka'anapali Beach Resort is Hawaii's original master plan destination resort and home of the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival. With views of 2 neighboring islands, you can breathe in the land's natural beauty from your favorite resort or golf fairway. Come experience Ka'anapali's own special brand of Hawaiian hospitality with world-class dining, relaxing resorts, water sports, and activities of every kind. For romantic, family, and great friend getaways, discover the options of Ka'anapali Beach Resort, where the world comes to play. Plan your getaway today. Visit Ka'anapaliResort.com. That's KAANAPALI Resort.com. Question: have you ever thought about making an investment in California real estate for the high returns available through trust deeds? As a trusted professional broker, Sun Pacific Mortgage and Real Estate has been helping investors earn high-yield returns on safer investments for over 32 years. Their trust deeds earn upwards of 13%. That's right, 13%. They invest in notes starting from $100,000 throughout all of California, where real estate remains strong. If you want to know more about high-return investments through available deeds of trust, go to their website at sunpacificmortgage.com. That's sunpacificmortgage.com, or call them today at 707-523-2099. 707-523-2099. sunpacificmortgage.com, or call them at 707-523-2099.
And we're back. This is John Truman Wolfe. I have harangued you now for X number of minutes about the coming digital currencies, and they are coming, folks. I don't mean to beat this to death, but the reason that it's so often and showing the degree to which central banks around the world are implementing it is because I don't think most people, one, know that it is moving this quickly, and the liabilities of having your bank account be zeros and ones and having your government be able to monitor, virtually everything you're doing with your finances. So what's the solution or solutions? One, of course, is one of the things I talk about regularly, which are precious metals. If you don't have some precious metals, get some. I'm a bigger fan of silver than gold, but get some precious metals. They've been money for 5,000 years. Stay with precious metals, and I would keep them in my home. I mean, there's a lot of international storage facilities. There's some great ones in Singapore. There's some in Ireland, I believe. The Perth Mint down in Australia is a great place. But look, if there's some kind of crash, I don't want to have to hire the Perth Mint and say, send me my gold. Get a safe and keep it at home. So precious metals is one thing. The other thing is the development of cryptocurrencies or digital currencies outside of the banking system in a way that people that don't even have bank accounts can bank. And Facebook developed a digital currency called Libra. It's very, very clever, in my opinion. Now, when I wrote an article about this, a bunch of people, I say a bunch, I don't know, 3, 4 people sent me emails back, complaining that I was promoting Facebook. I'm not promoting Facebook. Facebook has got its warts. I don't want to spend a bunch of time getting into to them. I'm no fan of that organization in terms of their privacy, in terms of their skewing their members in political ways, etc. But they did develop this currency called Libra. So, and how that works is a person with a smartphone. You got to have a smartphone. If your smartphone becomes your bank account, and they buy, let's say they buy $1,000 currency, which is then stored on your smartphone. Now, the $1,000 is deposited with a nonprofit global corporation that takes the money and invests it in dollars, in yuan, in treasury bills. They may even invest in gold and silver. In other words, the Libra has the backing of major global financial currencies and government bonds. That's what's called a stable coin. Backing of one kind or another are called stable coins. This one's very stable because you give this nonprofit corporation, which is made up, by the way, of some of the biggest corporations in the world, and they then turn around and take the $1,000 and buy some kind of stable asset. So now the person has got the money in their phone, and they can send the money as simple as sending an SMS text. All right, folks, Libra, gold and silver, and a final solution would be the Strategic Financial Intelligence newsletter, strategicfinancialintelligence.com. I'm making specific recommendations in there, gold and silver mining stocks to buy, so that you can flourish and prosper. strategicfinancialintelligence.com. This is John Truman Wolfe, and I will see you next week.
Mr. Pop. Are you